Welcome, everybody. Again, thank you for being here with us on this exciting day at South Mountain Park and Preserve and the South Mountain Environmental Education Center. My name is Jared Rogers. I'm the Deputy Director of the City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Department in the Natural Resources Division. And this is an exciting day to be here with us. We're pleased to have Mayor Kate Gallegos, who is a strong supporter of parks and specifically South Mountain Park. Thank you for being with us. We also have right behind me, who you'll hear from in a minute, is Barnaby Lewis. He's the Gila River Indian Community Tribal Historic Preservation Officer and an elder who will be providing a traditional blessing in a moment. We also are glad to have with us our city manager, Jeff Barton. Thank you for being with us. Also, Deputy City Manager Inger Erickson is there. Not in levels of importance, but also my parents are here, so. They would have been, no offense, but they would have been, yeah. Okay, great. Also, thank you, Cynthia Aguilar is our director. She's here, Director of the Parks and Recreation Department. Thank you, Cynthia. We also have with us a lot of Parks and Recreation staff that have made this possible. We're really grateful for all of our rangers that have worked tirelessly to get this facility ready to open again. And I also have the honor of kicking off this event by reading our land acknowledgement statement, which is a statement that explains Parks and Recreation Department's respect for our tribal neighbors. After that, the reading of that statement, we'll have a blessing offered by Gila River Indian Community Tribal Elder Barnaby Lewis. The Parks and Recreation Department acknowledges the City of Phoenix is located within the homeland of the O'odham and Peeposh peoples and their ancestors, who have inhabited this landscape from time immemorial to present day. The landscape is sacred and reflects cultural values central to the O'odham and Peeposh way of life and their self-definition. This acknowledgement demonstrates our commitment to work in partnership with the ancestral indigenous communities to foster understanding, appreciation, and respect for this heritage.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that acknowledgement. We appreciate very exactly that acknowledgement of our ancestral lands and our continued occupation of these lands since ancestral ancient times. Today we want to ask the Creator for His blessing on this gathering of what is really significant for the City of Phoenix, Parks and Recreation, and we really appreciate the cooperation, understanding, and assistance that we've gotten from Pueblo Grande Museum staff. I always do this in the language that our Creator gave us, is the O'odham language. And these are the teachings and practices that we continue since the time of our ancient ancestors, Uhugam. Tinatagdama tidada yeda takti juri time, hivumta gapacha, itam yeda humopik, nankamamsa humus kam ijuki dada, iya, smitanya gapacha dam, vusit, masmamut vusit, jabuk saptat kam, yamjit yeda hoikada, napima vusit sapidak to the goimi gufka hugay, hasirida maswamachi hajo babka temendak. Maar je smaakt met de gugger bijjo, je schaan hier dat mis, maar dat me check, schur ooit zwaar. Maar vader de gugger, maar voor nakko, kwijt jo, kwijt twum, die dan tak. Maar je met twee hier, dan tam je roos jo, bij je gugger, hasir daar, met je krijg, maar zwaar met je haai, jo bab getemen dat. Hoe zo hier daar, met je dat je kwijt tijd, met vader zijn je woordje, hoe zo hier daar, met mooi tijd, hoe kan mijn woordje. That concludes the activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. We really appreciate that, and that really bears the spirit of our land acknowledgement statement and the relationships that we have with our tribal communities. I will make a few very brief comments. I would be remiss if I didn't. There's so much I could say about South Mountain Park. The scale of the park is awe-inspiring when you look back at the ridges that we have behind us. As a small child, I have a very distinct memory of hiking down Pima Wash on the east side of this park. To a child's mind, I think I was probably 5 or 6. It's about a 1 mile long trail. In my mind, it was about 100 miles long. It was near the end of a hike. We were walking in the bottom of the Pima Wash. It's a sandy wash. For little legs, it's a hard workout. I remember following my dad, who was in front of me, with the sun beating down on us. The saguaros were towering over us. Petroglyphs dotted the rocks all around us. Chuck Wallace were undoubtedly watching us go by, though I wasn't lucky enough to see one that day. Hawks were soaring above us. To me, there was no better place to be, and I was hooked from that moment on the Sonoran Desert. It had a very strong point in why I became a landscape architect and why I was so excited 18 years ago to be the trails coordinator for the city of Phoenix. That experience and many others like it have created the love that I have for South Mountain Park, but also beyond that, the Sonoran Desert. This place has undoubtedly left indelible impressions on innumerable Phoenix youth and visitors alike. I think foundational memories like the one I had are created here every day. And those foundational memories hopefully will instill love and respect for our Sonoran Desert home. We often call the South Mountain Environmental Education Center SMEEK. It offers visitors a starting point for all who come here as they begin their exploration of this beautiful place. And with that, without further ado, I'll turn the time over to Mayor Kate Gallegos.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction and for your service to the City of Phoenix. This park has inspired many of our team members to want to join Phoenix Parks Department and city generally. I'm so pleased to be with you here today as we reopen the South Mountain Environmental Education Center. South Mountain Park is one of my favorite places in the city of Phoenix. This is the park closest to my home and the park where I've introduced my son to open space. When he was too young to get out of a stroller, the Judith Tunnel Trail was very special to us, and now he continues to enjoy it and has an ability to spot more petroglyphs than his mother can find, as well as, unfortunately, more things that can bite you. This center has served as a really important educational point for so many visitors and youth in our city. It's a very special place. As many of you know, we are going through a bond process right now where we'll have a chance to reinvest in our parks. We have the voters to thank for the South Mountain Environmental Education Center. They approved it with the 1988 bond funds, and I am so thankful that they did. This is a wonderful building facility. My first ever meeting with city staff as a newly elected city councilwoman and all department heads was in this building, and I attended important celebrations. I am so glad that we are back and have this environmental education center staffed. In this last budget, thanks to our great city manager, Jeff Barton, we allocated funds to provide staffing and reopen this facility as a city-run facility. We'll have the equivalent of 2.5 full-time employees, and can you think of a better office in the city of Phoenix than working right here? I'm a little bit jealous myself. We'll have support with educational opportunities, including the Visitor Center, Museum, Natural and Cultural Learning Center, classrooms, and library, and the center will also be available to rent for meetings and other events. It had originally closed due to the economic downturn in 2009, but our city staff worked so hard to find creative ways to keep it open to the public. They know it is a jewel and valued by this community. They tried private grants, federal grants, tribal grants, State Heritage Foundation grants, and nonprofit operators. That lasted until 2020 when it was ultimately vacated by our last nonprofit operator. I am thankful to all those who helped us during that time period, but I'm also very glad that it's now back in City Parks and Recreation Department leadership. And I want to thank our Parks leadership, Inger Erickson, Parks and Recreation Director Cynthia Aguilar, and their entire team for the behind-the-scenes effort that led up today and for all they do to celebrate and keep parks strong in our city. It's a real point of pride for me that we have more acres of parks than any other cities in the United States. It's a lot of work to keep them going. But I also know when I ask people why they live in this city, our open space is one of the top reasons that I hear, and I think that is important to recognize. South Mountain is a particular jewel among big cities in the United States. It is the biggest, and one that is brought in so many memories, whether it be weddings or your first special time with nature and a young person. Arizona Center for Nature Conservation has been our partner in the interim, and I also want to thank them today. And as we cut the ribbon and rededicate this facility, we'll also have a chance to celebrate that it's an important way station and habitat. So after we cut the ribbon, we are going to plant milkweed. We are a city that is really trying to make sure we preserve monarch butterfly habitat. The milkweed is the plant that they need to reproduce. And so we will be planting one today, and it's also wonderful to share the Super Bowl is going to be investing in monarch habitat as part of their investments in our community. Today is 100 days until the Super Bowl, in case you're counting down. So lots to celebrate today, but most importantly, that this treasure of an environmental education center will reopen. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, next up, we do have some comments. We did hear from Barnaby Lewis earlier, and I believe Barnaby would like to make a few additional comments. Is that correct? I'm not. Or did you want to, Barnaby, still? I'm not going to twist your arm on it. If you'd love to, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, thank you. I just did want to ensure that everyone was aware that this mountain is a sacred mountain and that it has this basis of that sacredness and for our people in our story of creation. So it stands there here prominent. And that oh, it's a, you hear me? You're trying to tell me something, I think. But there are thousands of petroglyphs throughout the whole mountain range that we want to impress on everyone that demonstrates the religious and ceremonial use of the mountain since the ancient time of our Hohokam ancestors. And we also want you to know that this is, in our oral tradition, the recognized home of our ancient deity, Suh. And that's all I have to say. Thanks again to City of Phoenix, Parks and Recreation, and Pueblo Grande Museum. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Lewis. I appreciate those additional comments. It's always a great reminder to know how special a place this is to all that come here. We also have with us today, and I neglected to introduce her before, Junior Miss Gila River, Eliana Rhodes. She's over there. Okay. Sorry, yeah. She's brightly dressed, so I should have spotted her quicker. Would you like to share a few quick comments as well? Great, thank you.
Hello everyone. First I'd like to introduce myself if you don't mind. Skukdash, Anyanam Chugik, Eliana Rhodes. Anyanam Guki Amjad, I'm Anki Gomat, and Yamash Jamtano Apam Community College. And you all got Chugik Vincent Blackwater, and you Gaga Chugik Tracy Gift Antoinette Bad. And you all got Chugik Eugene Blackwater Richard Pedro, and a little up Chugik Gwendolyn Rhodes Bad. Sapantakam Yoy. Good day everyone. My name is Eliana Rhodes, and I'm the current Junior Miss Gila River 2022-2023. I come from the village of Guki, Sakaton, located in the Gila River Indian community, and I reside in the village of Kamaki, also located in the Gila River Indian community. I currently attend Thana Atham Community College. My father is Vincent Blackwater. My maternal grandmothers are Teresa Gibb and the late Antoinette Pedro, and my maternal grandfathers are Eugene Blackwater and Richard Pedro, and my paternal grandmother is the late Gwendolyn Rhodes. And I am very glad to see you all here today. Sorry, it's been a while. No, but I am very glad to see you all here today. And I want to thank Barnaby for the words. It is very important to recognize whose land this is, not only just because we were the first people here, but because we are still here and we will never be forgotten. For many generations, our ancestors fought for us to be here. And I, as an Akima Atham woman and a Thana Atham woman, am very proud of who I am. And I hope you all learned something today and you continue to learn, because as I said before, we are still here and we will always be here. So Sapa, thank you.
This is an expensive mic, so I'm glad you didn't drop it, but that was worth it. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. So next we'll go to the ribbon cutting, unless I just want to make eye contact with a couple of people. Okay, all right, that's what we're going to do. Okay, we will do a ribbon cutting, and as the mayor suggested, we'll do the mayor cutting, and then after that we'll come back here and we'll plant the milkweed. Once the ribbon has been cut, you're welcome to go in and tour the center. After that, I'm going to have to check my notes here for assistance on pronunciation. Bear with me. We will also have some traditional basket dancing from the Achim A'at. They are the Wee Children traditional basket dancing group. That'll happen. The chairs will get moved at that point. There's some fantastic indigenous traditional food and from one of our indigenous caterers. So we're really excited about offering that as well. So without further ado, I think we'll now move to do the ribbon cutting and go from there. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, go for it.